Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the didn't can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the price. You must show us. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Good evening, and welcome. Happy Friday to you all. Sorry about my missing slots last night and this morning. Last night, I went to sleep after the press conference and I woke up horribly late. I wasn't meant to be on this morning, but because I wasn't on last night, I didn't get to tell you because I had some things to catch up with this morning. So pardon my absence over the last two slots. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Have anyone seen Dr. Kev, or have anyone heard from Kevin DR? And is there a smear campaign been run against Wayne Cameron? We have a few questions to ask a few people tonight. And we want to ask nationwide, what's the change? What's the reason for the change in your name, or the addition to your name? What is it about nationwide? Do you care to be transparent? As we see, the Gleaner editorial is calling for transparency in the Blake and Cameron matter, as well as the unions are calling for respect. But what I thought we rather got from that was some smear campaign being thrown out. Whether it's true or not, we don't know yet. But in the way the interaction is going on, it seems like there is a smear campaign coming from Kevin DR and his media operatives that we will look at tonight as well. And we will also bring to you some Young Jamaica positive experience. And yes, we will also again look at the hair debacle. But are you not confused when it comes to Cafe and EOJ, ECJ, whichever name it is? Are you not a bit confused between the two of them? Who has any credibility, or if anybody is being bullied into? But I think I'm slightly a bit confused with them. But never mind. Everyone, good evening and welcome to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good evening to the Commissioner of Police. Wherever you may be, the people of Jamaica would want to hear from you. Commish. Commish on the smear campaign. Accept one big good evening from him. I can't bother the roll call this evening. Take no offense. Good evening, everybody. Moderators, supporters, gifters, tappers, sharers, likers, everybody. Good evening and welcome to Global TV. Cafe and EOJ. Not until the press conference yesterday evening, I realized that the story of the 21% was run by Cliff Hughes. Did they not understand it, or did they put a spin on it, is one question. My deeper question, though, to Cafe, did you not see a problem with the reporting that everybody was reporting on? Because I saw it over Dion Jackson Miller. I didn't see it over Malvina Revenge because I don't really go over there per se. Is it that Cafe did not see the reporting that's been out there for days? Or is it that when the EOJ became concerned or topsy-turvy about it, that's when Cafe was forced into a retraction, clarification, apology, all of what they're trying to dance around the 21%. That's my problem. God favors me. The story was out there swirling in the public for days. Mainstream media and social media was moving with the story. We heard nothing from Cafe. Is Cafe saying that they don't engage with the media at all? Because this wasn't a social media story, mind you. This was a story we picked up from the mainstream media. As I said, I didn't hear it over Malvina. Adian Jackson Miller me hear with it. But until Andrew go meet my man there and making arrangement, then EOJ come out and ask them to apologize or recheck or whatever. So if that is the case, if Cafe was being misrepresented, why nobody over there never bright enough to say they are being misrepresented until a dunce like Gospel Brown we can count before Cafe come out and I give clarification and all that. So my question, is Cafe being bullied? Did Cafe report on what they saw and now they've been asked to retract it? Because it's sown something near so. It sounds something near so, but in all of that, me not understand clearly what is going on with both Cafe and electoral commission. It looked to me like some bullying a gwan or some cleaning up a gwan for Andrew name not taint in a fraudulent election. I mean, we the people of Jamaica saw for ourselves all the different bits and pieces. We don't need no official report for sister the election was stolen. A lot of crimes was committed by the Jamaica Labour Party in order, a lot of rule breaking, a lot of law breaking in order to win the election. So, me not understand what they come out to come clear up about, because even the as we said, the last two elections, I'm been confused. And that's why we cannot continue with Gospel Brown, because a bare confusion in our election. But nobody in Over Cafe never hear. I think that news was out there from about the 4th, 5th. Isn't it, globalists? The news was out there from about the 4th, 5th. Remember when Jump did do the report on the collation, the Auditor General, and Jump come tell we say how much money unaccounted for. You remember the government did push them and the media for come back out council unaccounted outstanding. So these are the reasons why I'm asking the question. Has Cafe been bullied into giving us a clarification? Or is everybody over Cafe so dunce that them never see them name a call up in a public? It just don't make sense. Did Cafe give the right reporting and Andrew don't like it and them have to retract it? I just don't know. But honestly, I am confused when it comes to Cafe and EOJ. You believe they were bullied? I am confused as to what do we believe, because the explanation where they come out can give me not sure me understand it neither. Me not too sure me understand it. Citizens Action for Free and Fair Election Cafe has rejected claim that it had tarnished the reputation of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica and the result of the recent concluded general polls. Yesterday, the commission called on CAFE to retract a claim which implied that 21% of polling stations' electors were turned away despite being in the line at 5 p.m. when the polls were closed on September 3rd. The commission labeled the claim as false, nothing that's not such report, noting rather that no such report was made by any commission, official, political party, or accredited international observer. The situation has prompted widespread dialogue among members of the public. In response, CAFE chairman Grace Beeson said its statement immediately following the general election commended the professional manner in which the polls were carried out. Ms. Beeson said that position remained that the position remains the same. She sought to clarify that CAFE did not say voters were turned away at 21% of the polls. Ms. Beeson explained that CAFE statement related to the report from 21% of its observers from approximately 60 polling stations. She said the content of CAFE's report were misrepresented. Ms. Beeson also explained that so far it was only in one case that there appeared to be any substance in the allegation that a voter was turned away. Lady, Una put out the report. Una put out a convoluted report. And I think everybody in the public domain understood the report in its original documentation. I am rather more confused when it comes to anything when numbers calling or confuse me. When it comes to what you're explaining now, I'm not sure if I get it. So maybe just like two messed up elections, we will just have to accept this messed up scenario between the ECJ and CAFE, because me don't know, me confused, me don't know which one to believe. Me don't know which one to believe, because CAFE said this, CAFE never hears it out in the public all this time what the people been saying and been reporting on, until Gospel Brown and him team asks her to apologize and retract the statement. So is CAFE then saying to us that they would have allowed, without Gospel Brown and the others have a problem with it, they would have allowed such a narrative to slide in public without making haste from the very first reporting that their statement have been misrepresented? Me not understand that part there. Because if Gospel Brown never come out, let's say your report has been misrepresented. If Gospel Brown never come out, you were going to leave that narrative in the public spheres? Me not understand that part there. So, me don't know if them been bullied, or are they been honest, or them did deaf until Gospel Brown called them out. I just don't know. But it's sound hop, skip, and jump. Me don't know which one to really do at the moment. But Kamina Johnson Simmet and the big words and all of that, them say it's frivolous, it's this, it's mischievous, it's frivolous, and it's all of that. there are circumstances in Andrew Holness constituency to investigate. We saw Andrew Holness lock down a polling station in his division. There's something to investigate there. So Uno come out with the noise. It's not going to push back anybody. So Cafe should have some more question to answer to the public. Why them leave a narrative to be spun in public for days? They left the narrative in public. They did.
I think there is no a consensus that the voters.
Them never sought to come out and correct the information. But one thing we must do as Jamaicans, we must lobby the People's National Party to push hard in Parliament on these reforms to ROPA that would help to limit some of these actions throughout our general election, such as cleaning up the voters list, because you don't know how much dead people vote for Labour in the recent general election gone.
I think there is no a consensus that the voters list has to be cleaned up. We have to take off the dead people. We have to take off the people who have migrated. Now, Mr. Fisher told me that since 1997, when continuous registration started, the voters list has not been cleaned of people who migrated. Also, a whole heap of...
Let me say, in relation to the migrated people here, that is wrong. You can still be on the voters list if you migrated, because you can return to the country to vote at election time. If our government provides postal voting, you're entitled as a citizen to vote by postal voting. What must be done is people must then forced to be registered within Jamaica, whatever catchment they move to. Say, for instance, like some people who have left St. Elizabeth to go to Kingston to live, they should be forced to register in Kingston rather than be in St. Elizabeth. So them have it corrected. But the people who migrated from the country, there's no need to take us our name off the voting list while we're still alive, because Jamaicans abroad do return to the country to vote. So that is wrong. That is wrong of her to ask.
Dead people still on the list. Now, right now, the number on the list is over 2 million. It's close to 2.1 million people. But he says his feeling is that the actual number of voters available in Jamaica, he thinks is closer to 1.5, 1.6 million. Now, what that means is that we have no idea what the level of voter turnout really is. So we could be expressing concern about low and lower voter turnout, when in reality, the percentage isn't right because the number of people on the list isn't right. We need to fix that. He also said that after the 2016 general election that he had done a comprehensive proposal for the cleaning of the list, and it was rejected by the electoral office on money in the election campaign. Now, whole heap of talk about this. Let's put it into context though. And I know money are run in an election, all right? The issue of vote buying is not new. That's one of the reasons cell phones are banned in the polling station, because when the camera phones first came out, people would take a picture of the ballot and carry it, go show as proof as to who they voted for so they could collect their money. And then now when the cell phones were banned, we started hearing now people were being paid not to vote. In 2024, the Jamaica Observer spoke to voters who admitted that they sold their vote. Listen to what some of them said. One voter said, me decide me now vote, but on the morning my MP, who me rate, come beg me for vote for the councillor who me not rate. Me tell him, say, me now go out unless me get a thing, and he give me a thing. That's why me vote. That was a voter in a rural constituency. Another voter in a corporate area constituency said everybody in her community who wanted money was given $5,000 by the sitting councillor. Then this voter said, but me get even more, because me link the candidate on the other side, tell him, say me get the $5,000 to vote, and he give me 5 and say me for link a man after my vote, and he would have given me 5 more if I vote for him. We just make everybody know, say me vote for his second man, and a $15,000 me collect on election day. In 2020, residents of Central Kingston told the Gleaner that money was being wrapped in JLP t-shirts and handed out. And in 2015, the observed then opposition leader Andrew Holness had accused the PNP of buying votes in a by-election in Central Westmoreland. He told supporters of the JLP to go ahead and take the money if approached by the PNP, but make sure they vote out the PNP. Yam them out and vote them out, he said to a cheering crowd at a rally in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. And in 2015, Professor Trevor Monroe of National Integrity Action had raised concern about this, pointing out that vote buying and vote selling is against the law, against the Representation of the People Act, ROPA. And he called at that time for the leader of the opposition to stop encouraging voters to break the law. He called for the security forces to put in place mechanisms to detect, investigate, and bring before the courts any case of vote buying or vote selling. So we know this.
If Andrew Holness promoted vote buying and vote selling in 2015, what would stop him from actively engage in vote buying in 2025? The same $5,000 in a t-shirt was being run by Floyd Green from nomination day. Now, migrating shouldn't take you off the list. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. That shouldn't take you off the list at all, because you can return to the country at any election cycle. Once you're alive and the list is up to date, you should be entitled to vote. Under postal voting system, Americans across the world are entitled to vote in American election. Those, if we do that, that would be voter suppression. You still have the right, even though when you're not living in Jamaica, you still have the right to vote. People do actively come back to vote, so there's no need to remove people off the voters list who have migrated from Jamaica, because even though you have migrated, you still have the right to vote. So that is not something acceptable or should happen at all.
It's a problem, and we know it's been a problem for a long time. What to do? I think that is a problem. What do we do? There have been public education campaigns which have been run telling people not to sell their vote. What else we can do? I'm not even pretending.
Now, if you listen to Mark Golden's press conference yesterday, you would get the idea from them that there are things that went on during this general election. But because we do not have enough physical evidence to mount a legal challenge, we have to go with the wishes of the people. But what Mark Golden will seem to do going forward is to seek to strengthen the legislation around the Representation of the People's Act to make things, to make it have more teeth in it. But then again, if you have corrupt police who will align themselves to whatever party and take orders from them, those are the people who would be responsible to investigate vote buying and bring cases against the seller and the buyer. So whole heap of strengthening in our law is required, which I think is what Mr. Golden and his team might want to push for in Parliament. Whether Andrew Holness and his team would want to negotiate around those areas in bringing legislation to tighten up our election laws, it's a matter to see if bills like that, if amendments or new bill come to Parliament in order to give a bit more teeth to the Representation of the People's Act. But when it comes to vote buying and selling, you're not gonna get people investigated or prosecuted upon word of mouth. You have to have actual evidence in order to secure a conviction against both the seller or the buyer. But it's not that we don't know that it's happening. We know it's a factor in our election. We know it was at play in this election and previous elections. And these are some of the reasons why we're saying, even though we accept the result, we know it wasn't a free and fair election. But under the rules of democracy, then we just have to accept the result and move on. But we should also seek to make sure our election laws are strengthened so that these fraudulent behaviors, these breaking of the rules in order to win an election, these things can be minimized. I think we need a total overhaul of how ECJ runs our election. The divisive setup, Labour right over there and PNP over there, I think we need to cut that out and just have one unified desk that you approach to sort your name out and get your polling card to mark your X, because that also help with the ballot stuffing and all of them something there. The clearing of the dead people off the list, that must happen. Because a lot of people have come forward to say, my mother name has appeared on the list. So we, the people of Jamaica, must also hold the government account and call for the government to bring legislation to tighten up our election laws if we want to have free and fair election. So I think EOJ needs a total overhaul. Gaspol Brown needs to go. I don't think he has the credibility to continue. The reason why I'm saying this, man, if he died in 2016 and his name is still on the list. These people at the EOJ, they have no credibility. Gaspol Brown in the 2024 election and in the 2025 election, I don't think he has done a good job. I think he has done a terrible job last year when he left us all hanging as to the result of the local government election. And in my view, I thought he ran a very shoddy election last week. So I don't think Gaspol Brown has the credibility to continue. There must be somebody else who understands how to run the election machine. I don't think he should have the opportunity to mess up or cause another cloud of mess in another general election before. The Labour right them a big attention over here tonight, you see. But we're not going to pay them any attention. Cliff Hughes. Good evening, Lady Malvina Bachelet. Question. The Revo part of your name. Revo, Cliff Hughes. The Revo. What that's about? What is that about, Cliff Hughes? You know, sometimes when a company is bankrupt, you know, they can actually close down the bankrupt nationwide. This is just supposition. This is just supposition. This is not, I'm saying this happened in his case. But the change of name, Cliff Hughes, when we all thought the People's National Party was going to win the election, could it be that Cliff Hughes was going to bankrupt nationwide and everything just write off because it's a bankrupt company, and then we just oopsie-daisy slipped over into Revo? I don't know. Just asking if Cliff Hughes could clarify for us what's with the new Revo thing. What's with the Revo, Cliff? I wonder if nationwide bankrupt with tax money and you was planning to slip things. So if PNP win, PNP cannot go after nationwide for the amount of tax that you owed us. Cliff Hughes? Just asking. But I also want to ask Cliff Hughes and the rest of the media. I him first me see with you and then me say, is Cliff running a smear campaign? And me say, let me go search if nobody else have it. So me search and me find somebody else with it. But is there a smear campaign being run on Wayne Cameron? Because Commissioner come out and put out what's rather him want to put out in a public. And then we find out that Commish had no authority to do it. Besides not even having the authority to do it, Commish has come out in public with an internal dispute that has not gone through due process internally. So it leads me to ask the question, is Commish and his media operatives running a smear campaign against Wayne Cameron? Because rather than giving clarity to what the public would have wanted to hear from Commish, rather than providing clarity on the matter, I think what we're seeing in front of us is a smear campaign. I'm not saying that Wayne Cameron or his office is not under investigation. That's not what I'm saying here. But is it a smear campaign to sway certain narratives when things are not dealt with at the internal level? Things are not being properly explored at the internal level. Is the Commish and the media organization running a smear campaign against Wayne Cameron?
And welcome back to Primetime News.
A special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
We begin this evening with a developing story. TVJ News has learned that the accounts of the Police Officers Association, POA, are the subject of a major financial investigation.
The POA is comprised of the leaders and managers of the JCF from the rank of assistant superintendents to the commissioner of police.
According to well-placed investigative sources, the fraud squad is probing irregularities involving POA accounts under the direct control of the current chairman, SSP Wayne Cameron.
It's understood that the probe involves the movement of the POA members' funds to personal accounts despite requests at the last general meeting, which was held in 2022. Some members have disclosed that they're yet to be provided with the audited financial statements.
Now, efforts to get a comment from members of the High Command were unsuccessful. It remains unclear when the next general meeting to elect a new executive will be held.
And the ongoing saga between POA Chairman, Senior Superintendent Wayne Cameron, and the Police Commissioner, Dr. Kevin Blake, has taken another twist.
The Supreme Court yesterday granted an interim injunction restraining the commissioner from removing SSP Cameron as chairman of the Police Officers Association pending further orders from the court.
The Supreme Court also granted a stay of implementation of the decisions of Dr. Blake, as indicated in the Constabulary Communications Network release dated September 8, pending the determination of the hearing for judicial review or further orders of the court.
No, a hearing date is set for October 8 for interim relief and leave to apply for judicial review. The court document says if the Commissioner of Police fails to comply with the terms of the order, he will be held in contempt of court and may be liable to be imprisoned or have his assets confiscated.
This development results.
Rather than Kevin respond to the public questioning his surreptitious behavior, what Kevin keeps doing is throwing smears to the media to come out and attack Wayne Cameron's credibility. Jamaica, we must be careful of the people we put in certain position of power, you know. This is dangerous what the commissioner is doing. The commissioner is not prepared to follow the rules. The commissioner is not prepared to follow the rules. Even if Wayne Cameron office is under investigation, why no? Why is it being explored internally? He is under investigation. Why una don't come tell we then all of the MP them were under investigation? If una can't show it Wayne Cameron, what is it? What is going on, Kevin? What on earth is going on with Kevin Blake? Because Kevin Blake is not behaving like a professional. Kevin Blake is behaving like one of Andrew's crony or a very bitter JLP. That you have to be singing their tune. You have to be singing their tune in order for them to give you your space. Because if Wayne Cameron is under investigation, the commissioner put out a statement without his knowledge of it that his job is vacant, and then now as a court debacle start between him and the commissioner, we see this smear campaign coming to the media. We need to be careful of Kevin Blake. Because Kevin Blake was set up with children them when he want to kill them or send them to prison. This is a dangerous commissioner. Lord, we think Google Gaga been dangerous. But this year when you come in and behave wasara, and it should send a signal. It should send a very loud signal to members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force that if you're not prepared to follow Kevin Blake's rules, even if Kevin Blake don't have the jurisdiction, he might go discipline you. This is not safe for a police commissioner behaving like this, especially to his high-ranking officers. This is definitely not safe. Cliff Hughes, we want with money. If I change your name for avoid paying tax, Cliff. Cliff will want with money. You owe millions in tax, Cliff Hughes. And as you see PNP, as you look to you like PNP, they are going, you do big name alteration and name changes, span. So why you don't hold with tax under River and Nationwide is bankrupt and all sorts? Cliff Hughes, we want the money. Every cent of it. 5 more years, Cliff will get government contract. The time is brought, the time and River is brought to you by the office of the Prime Minister. So, do a killing under Kahiwa. Cliff notice, Nationwide would have probably end up in some investigation to do with Andrew Holness and the money laundering. So Cliff, make sure if PNP they win, as PNP come in, so in under a different name, you can't go after River. River is a new company. River no own nothing, says Cliff Hughes. So we don't know all of a sudden why Cliff Hughes just got take up names. So when we hear say Cliff Hughes bankrupt, Cliff Hughes owe with tax, Cliff Hughes who rent for the building when in a and Cliff Hughes changed name power. So what you say you don't hold no money? Cliff Hughes? We want to know what the changes are your name for. From NNN to River. We want to know that. We want to know if it's tax dodging, Cliff Hughes. That is what we want to know. But amid the hair debacle against our children in schools, there are positive young Jamaicans out there that we don't highlight. That we don't highlight enough because we tend to focus on the negative side of things. But this is a young Jamaican who is doing very positive things. And this is, I think, something that should be shown to a wide audience of young Jamaicans because it's a positive thing and you wish more young Jamaicans can aspire to do things of such. But what you would want to also is schools stop focusing on their hair and teach them to become the best of themselves.
Done. I'm the founder and CEO of Unstoppable Enterprises. I'm 17 years old and I just recently graduated from KC and I go to UTech now.
What are you studying at UTech?
Business administration.
How long have you started this business and what do you specialize in?
Alright, so I started this business when I was actually 14. While I took it serious at 14, but I started at like 13 years old.
What were you doing at 13 in terms of business-wise?
Business-wise, well, I started out with 100 US, 1 phone case, and 2 LED lights. And from then, I went to Kingston College. So they used to call me the plug because I was the connect for phone cases, LED lights, and etc. I used to just bring it in my bag, but you have to hide and do that. So I did that.
So you're selling these electronics and small electronics?
Small electronics. That's when I just started. LED lights and phone cases were it for like 2 months, and then I branched off into some other stuff.
And what are you now selling?
All right, so what we're now selling and a service that we now offer is direct shipping and clearing from China to Jamaica. Right, but what we have in stock, we have LED mirrors, right? We have normal mirrors in stock as well. We have the full body mirrors, right? We have water heaters, my own brand of water heaters. It's called Unstoppable Water Heaters, and they come with a free shower head. We have water coolers. We have pot sets available. Our ice makers, commercial ice makers. we have a whole heap of stuff, a lot of stuff in stock, and more to come.
What inspired to start a business at just 13?
Well, what inspired me was mainly my mom, actually, because from a tender age, I've always seen her, you know, buying and selling, right? She started with sheets and curtains and etc. But also my family, right? Because I remember at tender age of just 9 years old, right? My family believes in hard work, and that's what we did. So I started clearing containers, normal, you know, just like any worker on Red Hills Road. Started to clear containers, help take out toilets out of the container, many different. So I guess I was always grown to lead, right? So I always had it in me, and hard work is key.
What made you choose to sell, you know, what you're selling? Was it anything in particular why you chose it? You know, you could have said different things, but you're selling electronics.
The thing is, you know, I don't only specialize in electronics. When I started, I mainly specialized in them. What made me start with electronics at first, though, you know, I didn't have as much capital, because when I just started, you know, you're going to have as much capital, and I wasn't getting any help, you know. So what I did was I went and did my market research and think about stuff that are hot in the market and that are going to sell, and I can make small profits.
Just to break here to butt in and say something. You saw no thieving MPs across the country. When you have up constituency development fund, these are some of the things that money like this should do. Help young people with startup business. Because sooner rather than later, academic are going to become a thing of the past because of the invention of social media and tech and all of that. Is only few academic like engineer, lawyers, doctors, and so on. A lot of things is going to be computer-based and industry-based. So that's why I say we have to change the way we educate with children rather than keep looking in at them here. Change them to become business people and financiers and wealth creators.
Profit, but still profit, because small profit is better than no profit, right? So that's what I did. And the electronics were the hit thing back then. I didn't have much competitors for the LED lights, and at that time I was going to KC. So with a school of 400 students and one boy doing that, there's not much competitors. So I did that, and from then, you know.
How do you source your products?
Well, we have sourcing agents all over the world, right? But what I mainly ship and clear from is the US and China.
How have your parents or family supported you on your business journey?
Well, I mean, my mom, my mom really is my support system. You know, she helped me a lot when I just started, because I remember when I just started, right? And I needed some money to buy some gaming chairs. That was my first ever big shipment. This was like 2 years ago. And before, I couldn't ship container loads like what I do now, right? And what I did, I shipped it through the wire. But I was an amateur. I didn't know that there were two different types of shipping, air and sea. So I shipped by air, and I got a bill. I got a bill of over $500,000 Jamaican. And you know, I bought like 14 chairs. 14 chairs not gonna make that back. So I made the hard decision, and I left them. I left them at the wharf. So this story is about a lot of obstacles. But as the saying goes, the brave may fall but never yield, right? And that's what I did. I never yield. So after I lost that $500,000 shipment, I went to church, because as a Jamaican, I forgot church in case there's any form of evil spirits. So I went to church, I prayed, and I got myself baptized. And from then, I did the same thing. Buy up the smaller products and ship them, and I sold them until I continuously did that. And I took the risk again a couple months after. But what I did, I shipped in somebody else's container, and they charged me for the space it takes up. That way, I know the price for shipping and clearing before it arrives here on the island. So that's what I did. And through those LED lights and those phone cases and the AirPods and those stuff, it made me ship the the big shipment, and then from that, the rest is history.
Are you saying that you didn't have to take out a loan?
No, I took no loan at all. The thing is, once you have a dream, you go for it, right? I remember days when I used to have a little 6 feet table, right? I used to have a 6 feet table. I had some LED lights on them. I have videos in my phone. LED lights on them. Some phone cases. And it's me alone. Got up, did the hard work, and I got them sold no matter what. I used to go to some pop-up events, some pop-up shops, right? And no matter what, sometimes I never even used to make $1, not $1. But I still went because the more people see your face out there, they start to build the brand. And I never let it let me down. There were days I made $0, most days, but I still did it. And now I'm a testament to many younger generations out there that once you have a dream, continue.
How do you balance running your business with school and personal life?
How do I balance? Well, I don't have much of a personal life because when you guys came, all over the place. So I do balance it though with school, right? But it's mainly here at the office. What I do now, going to UTech as a full-time student. Most of my classes, they end like around 2 and then I go to school in the night. So it's a balance. And I don't necessarily, I run my business through my phone. Literally through this phone. It's off right now and you see the calls. Yeah. So I run my business through my phone and people are always here at the office. So yeah, but in regards to people who want to do the China and the shipping and the clearing, right? That's when I really answer. But for the products that are in store, all they do is come in store. A representative would help them and no problem at all.
All of this is in where we are is Unstoppable?
No, it's Tech Pro, right? But with Unstoppable. So we're located inside the Tech Pro building.
But you have your own?
Own. Yeah.
How do you promote your business?
How do I promote my business? That's a really good question. Instagram ads, TikTok ads, interviews, word of mouth. You see, when you have a good brand and people see that you're not about the money, you're actually about building a brand and something that can become more than a household name, they start to trust you. So customers will always come.
How do you describe your brand? Or how would you describe your brand?
How would I describe my brand? It's the name, Unstoppable. We're unstoppable. And the name before was Dunn's Enterprises, right? And I changed it to Unstoppable to show people that the youth are unstoppable. And it doesn't matter your age. Once you have a dream, we are unstoppable.
How have you incorporated social responsibility in your business?
Our brand, and if you look, our type was seen on social media. We're all about giving back. The other day, matter of fact, we gave back our own brand of water cooler to Mona Heights Primary, right? And an initiative that we started, if you look, is 20% of each sales, they go back straight into the children's home. And we're going to be doing that for the Christmas. We're having a Christmas sale here, so you guys can look out for that. So as I say, when you spend with us, the money goes straight back into the future of Jamaica, which are the children. We believe in the kids. And if you have a dream, go for it. That's what we're all about.
What is the biggest obstacles you have faced as a young entrepreneur?
The biggest obstacles? Oh my God, there's been so much.
Or some?
Some? All right. One, people always trying to get a lot of money out of you, especially when they hear my last name, especially, I don't know, And two is that your age, my age, it permits me to do so much stuff. I could be doing so much more because the brain that I have, it has the capacity and it can work, But the age, the government, they restrict certain stuff. For instance, I can't even get my driver's license. I now have to wait until 6 months after. So there's so much stuff. And even when I'm shipping in my shipments, right, it has to be under my mom's name, who's an adult, because, the age as well. So there's so many other obstacles. But as I said, we're unstoppable.
Is there anything recommendation you would have for government, for young entrepreneurs?
For young entrepreneurs, maybe lower the age of registering a business because my business is under my mom's name. You know, lower the age. You know, youth are actually the future. Many youth in Jamaica want to start a business. They don't know how to get the capital. So many obstacles are in their way. So many. And most people in Jamaica, they don't trust a brand if it's not registered. So maybe looking into some of those rules. It needs to be changed.
What are your goals for the future for this business?
The goals in the future for this business. As I said, we're unstoppable, right? So you guys can definitely look out because in the future, we're going to be opening 3 locations. So you guys can definitely look out for that. So that is my goal. And as I said, with constant want to start a business, they don't know how to get the capital. So many obstacles are in their way. So many. And most people in Jamaica, they don't trust a brand if it's not registered. So maybe looking into some of those rules. It needs to be changed.
What are your
Bear with me. I'm trying to fix this. It should. Are you hearing me now? Please let me know if you're hearing me now. My mic should be fixed now. Can you hear me on YouTube? Okay, it's okay now. Yes, there is a message in this for young people. A lot of our young people through social media and tech is pursuing the get rich quick, where they are constantly looking over their back. A lot of you young people who have business ideas, this is a part of what your MPs, the Constituency Development Fund, that is been given to your MP on an annual basis. These are some of the ways that your MP ought to spend Constituency Development Fund in order to assist some of you young people who have business idea to give you a startup so that you can start your business, because this generation is the tech generation and there's a lot them can do business wise through them phone if them have the right help and the right financing, so them can get capital to do what they need to do. So I only hope our politicians can think about assisting our young people to become the entrepreneur of tomorrow, because things get much easier setting up and promoting a business just from your mobile phone. But capital might be a hindrance. And these are some of the things that you need to be speaking to your MPs on when it comes to constituency development fund, because that's a part of what that money is meant to do under the development
This is a natural look.
part of it. Now let's move back quickly to hair debacle. Hang on.
This is a natural look with our hair. You understand? You see no problem with this way. Yellow high school. I go send back home the child for that hairstyle. More be honest. Nothing wrong with this. Tell me the truth now, viewers. This is a natural look with our hair. You understand? You see no problem with this way. Yellow high school. I go send back home the child for that hairstyle. More be honest. Nothing wrong with this. Tell the truth.
I'm tired of this principal them now, because them principal now have no intention of teaching. They're more interested in interfering. Daryl Vaz, how much broke down bus? How much broke down bus you have since school start, Mr. Vaz? Is the new school bus system getting our children to school any earlier? I don't know, I'm just asking. Or how much of Mr. Vaz buses leave children stranded on the road since school start on Monday? Just asking, because some of what we've been seeing across social media now look like we're getting what we paid for, isn't it? Don't know, but because we don't really have transparency and all of that, we will never know what is happening. But back to East Portland, and then we will come back swiftly and remind you of how Dayton Campbell put Nationwide down yesterday. But a lot of us are asking this question as well. Is it that those who support the People's National Party will be policed rigorously, but if you're a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party, you can literally get away with hell, isn't it? Or you can be hard. It can be hard. It can be hard for the JCF to find you if you're a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party.
For this morning, me notice something, JCF. When people tell the Prime Minister to go suck his mother, you find them, and you arrest them, and you put them on TV to apologize. Come on now, JCF. Do the honorable thing. Do the right thing, Kevin Blake. Not because he's Anne-Marie Vaz GLP supporter, trying to blow up some river to make mud enter the mainstream, trying to burn down building, trying to contaminate the water, trying to destroy the pumps for the people of Eastern Portland. Huh? Come on now, JCF. Come on for the fuckery and do the honorable thing. Why he is not arrested for terroristic threat? Huh? Why he is not arrested, JCF? This is how we're going to play it. When it's labor right, it's okay for them to do and to threaten people and to say anything. Then drop all charges against Mother Love. Drop all charges against Mother Love if we're not going to be fair and balanced. Eh? You can have somebody that threaten to harm the citizen because the citizens make a choice to divorce the girl. Eh? What when you divorce for your partner? Nobody threaten you. So the people of Eastern Portland said, we don't want this no more. We're going to try something new. Something with a little bit more education in it. Eh? And that's how you operate. Come on now, Jamaica. Well thinking Jamaican. If you don't have a brain, think. When them destroy that river and muddy up the water and put poisoning in there, you know how far river water run? From Portland down to St. Thomas, all the way down to Kingston. And you tell me this person is not been arrested by now? Seriously, Jamaica? Only they on a dangerous loot. Only they on a dangerous trend, Jamaica. Continue with the foolishness. And I said to every politician, me can make a separation, but you cannot and you should not. If you get elected, whether a PNP vote or GLP vote, it don't care. Uno is no more GLP or PNP. Uno is the member of parliament for the constituency, and Uno supposed to do what's right by every citizen, whether they vote for you or not. You are a servant of the people. So Uno cannot separate and divide. Me can't do that. Because me not elected by the people. But Uno elected by the people. No separation for go on. The same thing Uno get to the PNP, the same thing Uno forget to the Labour right. The same thing Uno get to the Labour right, the same thing the PNP forget. Whatever development going on in the community, it's supposed to share equally. But this dirty trend, where Jamaica have a continue. Huh? This dirty trend, we want to have a continue. We want to fix one side of the road and stop because some PNP live up there. So they're supposed to fix everything to show how we fully dance that you don't know how to win over people. Like me now, when I work for everybody in the community. And you win over some of them vote when them see the progress. But we want to separate. We want to stop the fuck with Jamaica. We want to stop the corruption. And you, Kevin Blake, do the honorable thing and arrest the young man. We're threatening to blow up the water source. We're threatening the residents' life in East Portland. Not because it's labor right threatening the people who not go like who do not hear. Hey? But everybody else will tell Andrew to suck his mother. Uno find them and put them on TV. They say, Uno have some dirty bumbo clots. Uno to stop the fuckery. I said so.
Sorry about the colorful language, but isn't it true though? Do we have apartheid in our policing in Jamaica? One rule for us and another rule for them? Because we've been seeing from COVID how this Prime Minister has been operating, you know. He's not prepared to take any criticism. We saw just in St. Elizabeth the other day, a churchman called him Pepper Nose Prime Minister, and he was ushered out of his church and put on camera to apologize. The same Kevin Blake would turn upon him own officer because them feel say Wayne Cameron a PNP. It's the same way they turn on Rowan James because them say Rowan James a PNP. Is there apartheid in policing in our country? One rule for JLP and one rule for PNP operated by Andrew Holness. They're all doctors, aren't they? Dr. Andrew Holness, Dr. Horace Chang, and Dr. Kevin Blake. What is wrong with these DR people in our country? I mean, when Horace Chang ready carry the whole illegal gun, them come kill we in take shot out away and he earn money out of it. Him run gang and him earn out of scamming. Well, will Andrew Holness bring back Chang as Deputy Prime Minister? A Deputy Prime Minister who cannot, if Andrew drop dead tomorrow, Chang becomes Prime Minister that cannot have a dialogue with the United States? Andrew Holness? I'm interested to see the Prime Minister's new cabinet. I hope by Monday, Prime Minister, I'm hoping by Monday you'll be able to furnish us with your new cabinet so we can see where Juliet Holness is going. And for that matter, Prime Minister, who will be going on Miss Thomas's high chair? Because the PNP could never, make you put back Juliet up there, nor the criminal Marcia Dalrymple Filbert. Me not think so. So I'm waiting to see what your cabinet makeup, Prime Minister, will be when you should publish it by Monday. Because we're not swearing Tuesday, isn't it? So by Monday, you should be able to publish. Where you say Juliet I go finance? Who no think I go up on Miss Thomas post chair, the speaker's chair? Who no think I go up there? Where you say Juliet is going to London mining to continue her work? Because of that, she continue doing, Johnny's thieving Jamaica people's land and mining or riverways. Who do you think will go on Miss Thomas's high chair, the Speaker of the House? Or who should it really be given to? I always prefer when an attorney or someone with legal background is in that position. Warmington 2 done for this one. Renee's. Warmington 2 done and is he too partisan? Probably I don't think so, because sometimes he will rush the labor right them when he have to. But I don't think Warmington is intelligent enough for that position. So if he's putting Chuck up there, who will be Justice Minister? Would Marlene Malahoo Fort be going back to justice? The party is quite happy with Mark Golding continuing, and we, the entire PNP base, is very happy with Mark Golding continuation. The party has confidence in Mark Golding, unlike with Andrew Holness, which the party never had confidence in, and him thief the election from Audley Shaw, and the rest was history. All right? So there's no requirement for Mark Golding to step down. We don't have that precedent in our politics. Can you find one? So, how would you attack? So, before the thief in labor right them distract me. But let's remind them, Justice Minister, if Delroy Chuck, if he put Delroy Chuck on the bench, would it be that Marlene could be going back to Justice Ministry? But then again, who Could Pernell Charles be coming over to legal and constitutional affairs? Or could Pernell Charles, as an attorney, go on the podium? I don't know. But it would be interesting to see the Prime Minister's cabinet. Hopefully, he would put it out on Monday so we can see Juliet, Minister of National Security. I wonder if I'm going to make Juliet Deputy Prime Minister. What would be a quandary in our country? Wife Prime Minister, husband Prime Minister, and wife Deputy Prime Minister. You know, it's not far from him doing it, because he gave her head of the legislature, head of chair of constituency development fund and all that. So, I'm desperate to see what the changes are going to be. Or if he will come back with the same steel people. Lady Bright, Lady Affluent, the Queen's granddaughter, Carencia Morrison. I hope Andrew finds something give you. Andrew can't make your brightness with another than a 5-year Carencia Morrison. Good God Almighty now. The way how you bright, the way how you speak English in the way how it ought to be spoken there. Me not think Andrew can waste your talent another year again. Why Andrew no split up the amount of galangin when get Dana Harris fido? Dana Dixon rather. Split up the nonsense over Dana Dixon. Dana Dixon have education, innovation, information, and youths. Split up over this, Andrew, and give currency a thing for do. Dana hand full. Well, we know RJ go get still drawn into the Prime Minister's office. Them hope a non-portfolio where you have Prime Minister. Take some of them off of your hand. Give Nesta a proper portfolio. Give Matthew Samuda a proper portfolio. You're not tired. Let the people them who the country elect Prime Minister help you do the job. You want can be Lord and Master over everything. So rather than you take the job and beg them help you do it, give them things to do. Are you come to where and say them never perform well? Sometime last year you come and tell us, or early this year you come and tell us that them never perform well. Give them things to do. You claim say them bright. You have whole heap of young stars over there, university graduate. You want can hug up so much thing, Prime Minister. Give housing to somebody. Give road and works to somebody. Give water to somebody. You want can everything. You'll be the Lord and Master over it all. You shouldn't have to have focus on economic growth and job creation and give those people proper portfolio so they can work. Not that everybody have to under your supervision. Them under your supervision as Prime Minister already. But give them something to do. Take things off of your hands so you can function. Because we want our country to run. Even though we don't agree with you and your teething and you're coming back, we still want our country to run adequately. It's the fact that you creep up everything under your arm. Why you have done so bad at water? Because it's what you say. It's not what the minister of that department says. So you need to give them more space, Prime Minister, to work in. But Prime Minister, we can understand on a cold feet and on a silence, because we're not as happy as we expect to. because the debate will be stiff. Hmm? Stiff. Can you imagine an Isaac Buchanan shadowing the Office of Legal and Constitutional Affairs? I mean, Marlene wouldn't turn a pillar of salt in a parliament, isn't it? Hmm? Literally a pillar of salt. Dr. Tufton have no experience at all. Zilch, nil point. Hmm? When it comes to the force of Dr. Dawes, backed up by a Dr. Campbell, it's no match. Now, I know we're going to need translator for Horace Chang. If Horace Chang still remain a national security, we're going to need more translator because Peter Bunting are going to pull him out, you know. And we're going to need translator. How not going to manage with Damien when he talk about education? And nobody not over there to answer him. It don't look good for you, Andrew Holness. Me understand why you're not too happy and why you're not too celebratory. Because to say, Prime Minister, Richard Azan is back. And Richard Azan can pull the same card that you pulled at him, Prime Minister. Isn't it? With the many reports to come, trip. Report just a drop, so illicit one here, illicit. Prime Minister, a bangarang to come, you know. Parliament will be the go-to place for content. Me don't know how you're going to fear it off, but it's going to be stiff. Prime Minister, Lord have mercy. And now your secret, them are going to show in front of you in a parliament every day. Date and mouth. Lord God Almighty. No, sir. Dayton Campbell's mouth. Turn off your mic if you're bad. Turn his mic off. And we can turn down at the bottom of Duke Street and hear him. I dare you. When I sat down soon. Well, Lord Jesus. Andrew in a trouble, you know. Andrew win the election, but Andrew still in a problem because there will be more and more reports to come. For the foreseeable future, we don't expect the Prime Minister to have a statutory declaration certified. I wonder if you'll be able to walk out of Parliament at another budget presentation, Prime Minister. Lord Jesus, Andrew Holness. Up in Parliament and come. I want to see the Prime Minister's cabinet. I want to see if nobody else in the Labour Party, if nobody else in the Labour Party, if it help the Prime Minister do something. If everybody else other than the Prime Minister cronies in the Jamaica Labour Party is absolute dunce that Andrew Holness can't switch. Royal Reid will return to court. Man, Royal Reid return to the Senate, you know, Judy. Careful. Hey, careful what you not ask for. Because to say, remember, Mary said that wouldn't Filbert, the criminal returns to Parliament. So careful, thieving, criminal Royal Reid no return to the Senate and end up back in the cabinet. All Mavis. Why you don't tell the man, say, forgive you Horace Chang job? Yes, Faval. Take Horace Chang job, because one can sleep it out. No, wouldn't better. The only thing would have better, you would have shipped less guns in the country. That's the only better mode answer, but given that the two are no sleep, all when you know awake, I wouldn't see the difference if you send Faval go over national security, send Chang go health, send Dr. Tufton go tourism, put Ed Bartlett pa Miss Thomas post chair. What you want to get road of it do? Lord Jesus, Lord God Almighty, you have bright talents like Rhoda Moy Crawford, Prime Minister. You don't find nothing gear for do. You're gonna make Juliet stifle the young girl future 5 more year again. Go on your bed, yeah. Go on your bed before them pint gonna after you through the TV. Cause you know them wicked enough to do it. So go on your bed before them pint gonna after me through TV. Thank you very much for being here tonight, Globalists. Love race Rhoda tourism. I think he ought to put Delano Seavright possibly at tourism, Edmund Bartlett and Miss Thomas chair. Chris Tufton, or Chris Tufton can do what Arbin Hill. Arbin Hill is never there, is never to be seen. I don't know what's the purpose of Arbin Hill, like literally. If any of you know, can you all tell me? I literally don't know the purpose of Arbin Hill in our government. So Arbin Hill can be shipped out, and Dr. Tufton would have more qualify for round this. But Dr. Tufton don't qualify as a Minister of Health. So if you want somebody, put the doctor over there where take out bullet out a gunman and now report it to the police. The same doctor were carrying 200 gun in a container, 200 AK-47 and disperse them in a flanker. Put the murderous doctor there. Make doctor talk about doctor things. Who's to put a national security in the Labour Party now? Put Everard Warmington a national security. You can tell the police them some bad word because that's the only thing Everard Warmington qualified to do, is qualified to tell bad word. So put Everard Warmington and the police them hag and doggish alike. So me think it would be good if you put Everard Warmington over there, so because it would be a balance hag and dog police, hag and dog Minister of National Security. So put Everard Warmington over there, so. Create a new job for Marlene. Create a new job for Marlene. Lady of the Fowl Cub. Because Marlene no better than figure look at feed fowl. The best thing I can find for you for the Prime Minister is to create a fowl cub ministry and give it to Marlene for run. Because since as he ride donkey to win the election, then Marlene Malaho Fort can go look after fowl. Anyway, thank you all for being here this evening on Global TV. You know, it's weekend, so we're going to take the rest tomorrow. But certainly do join us back on Sunday, where we where you say the fish is speaker of the house. So you say Everard Warmington are gonna be the speaker of the house. Then should have put Everard Warmington over national security. Him and the police them a hag and dog alike. It wouldn't be a good match over there. But anyway, Globalists, have yourself an enjoyable weekend. Oh, make we play how Mark Gold or Dayton Campbell put down nationwide at the press conference yesterday, because everyone nationwide go, you know. Every fan with the rain, fan with the I don't got fan about Tuesday, I don't got parking, you know, because on Tuesday, you know, like when we say in Jamaica, the devil and his wife a fight. All in the brilliant sunshine, because sun not really hot right now, it's shine. Rain still a fall. We've been having rain since Tuesday. So I don't really get figure park. Every time I think about going to park, it look like the rain just dodge me so and come down. So I don't even know what the weather gonna be like tomorrow. But Nationwide seem to work with an agenda everywhere it's go over the liquor tax money.
Mr. Golding. Mr. Hilton, you put forward the suggestion comparing Jamaica's electoral process to that of Guyana, which has a history now of concerns about the process, whereas here in Jamaica, we had the OAS, CARICOM, as well as CAFE, all suggesting that the elections were free of harassment, free of intimidation, or any other irregularities, so far as going as to commending us in terms of our conduct here and to put forward Jamaica as a model that the Caribbean can follow. Isn't that a bit out of sorts in terms of that assessment by you in terms of irregularities? And to you, Mr. Golding, your predecessors have all offered their resignations to the wider party following an election loss. Will you not do the same, or will you simply take up your post as opposition leader going into the parliament?
You know, this is the only set of journalists in Jamaica but don't do facts check. They just blob. And they don't want to say them a vlogger like we. They want to call themselves journalists.
Let me look, you want to go first? No, let me say, I think the aspects, I don't think what you characterize as overstatement, notwithstanding anything that has been said by CAFE or any other organization that participated. The EU focus, and I'd urge you, and I think you have read the EU report, and if you have, then you'll see that they commented on some other aspects of it, much of which we saw in full force here in Jamaica. The issue that we believe needs to be addressed as an urgent matter is the whole issue of the advertising and promotion before and during the campaign with excessive state resources. And that aspect of it and others were specifically commented on. So my advice is that whatever the specific limitations or the concerns that the OAS or other monitoring group didn't address, the EU's report, I believe, was much broad-based and some of it very relevant to Jamaica.
If I may add something to that before the leader answers the next question. I think we've been very responsible as a party. I think we've been very responsible. Nationwide carried a story that CAFE said that 21% of the persons at the polling station at 5 o'clock were not allowed to vote. We could easily have created a stir with that to suggest that those persons would have voted for us and it would have changed the outcome of the elections. We didn't. We waited for good information, right? For additional information. And we have seen where over the last 2 days, the ECJ has refuted what was carried as to what CAFE had said. And then since that, CAFE today in the paper is clarifying that that did not actually take place. So I believe the comment that was made as well was not necessarily comparing the electoral system in the two countries, but about the report that came out of the election. So I don't know how you got to the point of saying he was comparing the two electoral systems. He was speaking to the report that came out and said that there are similarities that we have seen the same thing here. CAFE, CARICOM, and other OAS, other persons that came here would not have been out in the field to see that $100,000 was offered to an indoor agent not to work or offered to a cluster.
JLP, you notice on now get me attention tonight. All the big one are big. JLP supporters, all the big one are big tonight. On now get a call over here.
Imagine to give me the canvas of this party. They would not have seen that. They would not have seen what took place in the field. They would have been at the polling station, right? They would not have seen the night before that somebody was offered money to dip their finger in ink and therefore can't show up to the polling station. they would not have seen where we saw some persons, MPs, trying to separate people into lines as to who you are going to vote for. Totally inappropriate, right? From a high-ranking member of the Jamaica Labour Party. So the issues that we're bringing forward here are things that we have contemplated on, we've heard about, and not just anecdotal things, but things that we can say, these based on the reports that we've gotten. And there's additional work to do, but there is sufficient evidence to speak to it at this point to suggest that there was indeed an attempt to suppress the votes. Remember that we did run a campaign, where the last credible poll that came up before the election had us ahead by 3 percentage points, right? Not like the one from Nationwide that said we're 13 points behind. That was totally fraudulent, right? And if you look at the outcome of the elections, it was within 1%, as in the popular vote. So it was within that margin of error. And that is after all the suppression that took place by the Labour Party and the delayed voting by the ECJ that caused persons to leave the polling station and not being able to participate.
In relation to, well, first of all, I'm not aware of any historic precedent of which you speak. There have been instances where party leaders have offered their resignation. There have been instances where they haven't, to my knowledge. I serve at the pleasure of the party, and I'm happy to continue to serve in the capacity as leader for as long as the party wants me to. And thus far, all of the MPs who have been elected, all 28, other than one who is overseas traveling, have signed a letter confirming that they have confidence in me and want me to be the leader of the opposition.
We have full confidence in Mark Golding continued leadership of the party. Now, over the last 3 to 5 years, I've seen smear campaign after smear campaign run against Dr. Dayton Campbell. That, though, very same Dr. Dayton Campbell will be heading into Parliament with those of you who sponsored some of those smear campaigns, and to those of you who pissed on your foot while being drunk over the last 3 years to pull Dr. Campbell down. He has gotten to where you thought he would have never gotten. Thank you, and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it pick a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I sing to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man show one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show one stone, Wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta. I sell a house, I sell out Babylon. Just talk on the Friday. You want Joe and Stone, and they bring a bad feeling to a wicked man. Oh, what a black thing, man, Joe and Stone, and they bring a bad feeling to a wicked man. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let him hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20-odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big man Joe and Stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man Joe and Stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man Joe and Stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
We tend to go for a market on Sundays, Ladybug, on Sundays. On Sundays, me tend to go market.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.